Hello everybody and welcome to this week's free newsletter from Trade with Precision. My name's Simon Clarke, and in this week's newsletter I'm going to talk through some of the markets where we have strategy setups almost complete in a few of these markets. Now, the first one I'm going to talk through is Euro AUD, and the level that's of key interest to me at the moment is this 1.4000 level. This level has been a real key level here on these higher time frames and some of the lower time frames as well. So if we take a look at this market on the weekly and just start to scroll back through time, we can see that 1.4 has been support and resistance many times in the past. In fact, more recently, the markets make lower highs, lower lows, and the market's just pulling back up towards 1.4 again. If I come down to the lower time frames, we can start to see, how price action is sort of testing around this 1.4 level a lot more precisely. Just coming back up towards it here. If we see the same here on the 240 chart, we can see the same thing occurring here on the 240 chart. In fact, we've had such a strong move down here on the 4-hour chart. A pull back up to this sort of level might be a nice area for the market to put in a lower high and then starting to look for a lower low as the trend continues. So even coming down to like the 60-minute chart here, and we can see the pullback that we've had, and if I just mark in my 1.4 level through here, and if we start to draw a fib retracement study in here from the low to the high, we can see that 1.4 clusters exactly with a 50% retracement level of this recent leg of the trend. So pull back to this area, we're starting to get some analysis starting to stack up around the same sort of area. And in fact, even if we come down to the 15-minute chart where I've got my pivots on here, you can see that 1.4 just here happens to cluster with a pivot level today as well. So we've got quite a lot all occurring around 1.4, so I'm sort of looking for opportunities off 1.4 to the low side. Now, the next market I want to take a look at here is the Euro GDP. A lot of the Euro markets are trending short at the moment. Euro GDP is one of my favorites at this moment in time, mainly because here on the weekly chart we can see we've had a lovely strong downtrend like a lot of the Euro markets, but the market's nicely pulled back into the moving averages. So we've still got the trend structure here as pulled back into the averages. If the trend continues, well, we're looking for a move back down here towards the sort of 0.7 level down here towards these old lows. So that's a very reasonable move on some of these lower time frames. So just coming down the time frames here, if we take a look at the daily chart, we can start to see, if I just mark a level through here, there's a bit of a level through here that the market's tested a number of times before. So during this sort of pullback that we've seen on the weekly, we've now got a test here of this level. We've got one test, two tests, three tests of this level, starting to get a break underneath it. In fact, this level should be a little bit higher. We've just got a break underneath that level there. If we come down the time frames, we can start to see it a little bit more clearly here. So here in the, taking a look here on the sort of 240 chart, we can see that the level's been tested a number of times, quite a key level on this market, a break underneath it, and now we just had a pullback to it. So I'm sort of coming down to these lower time frames here, coming down to the 60. You can see that we've just had this level marked in through here. Three tests here that we can see at the moment on the 60-minute chart. A break through it, pull back, and in actual fact, this is the opportunity that I'm looking at here. We've actually got a PLT set up here, bearish candle coming back into the sell zone here, looking for a trend to continue short. Now if we come and take a look at the next one, which is Australian dollar against the New Zealand dollar. So again on the weekly chart, nice, well behaved, strong trend to the downside, moving averages all in the right order, lovely convergence on the indicators, and the market's just sort of pulled back here already, and it's just pulled back fairly close to the moving averages, so it's not overextended at this moment in time. Coming down to the daily chart, we can see that the daily is now pulled back into the moving averages, so it's back into the sweet spot, which is where we start to look for PLT opportunities, and it's just sort of consolidated there sideways, so it's right in the zone that we're interested in. So just coming down to the lower time frames, even still, we can now start to see on the 240 chart, we can see that we've got this nice sort of sideways consolidation with convergence with our indicators, which is another one of our sort of strategy rules. So I'm just coming down to the 60-minute chart, and what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a breakout short underneath this level here. And the reason I like it like this is because we've actually got a nice place at the top here for this consolidation for our stop level. So looking for a nice breakout to the short side to take advantage of those higher time frame trends to the downside. We've certainly got some nice convergence with our indicators, which is another one of our strategy rules at the moment on these trading strategies. So lots of reasons here to stalk this opportunity for a potential breakout. Okay, so there's some of the key markets that I'm keeping a close eye on at the moment. What I'd like to draw your attention to is the trading webinar that we're running this week. This is the 5 pillars of trading strategy. I've been talking through some of the trading opportunities that I'm seeing at the moment that I'm stalking in the markets that comply with the trading strategies that we use. Now, if you want to learn more about these trading strategies, then we discuss them in detail here on this webinar. Now, the webinar is being run in two different time frames for different time zones around the world. So we've got Tuesday the 14th of April, and we've got 2 different times. So we've got 10 a.m. London, 7 p.m. Sydney, 9 p.m. Auckland, or we have 3 p.m. New York time, 8 p.m. London time, 7 a.m. Sydney next day, and also 7 a.m. Auckland next day. So there's time zones there which are suitable for most regions around the world. If you're interested to find out more and more detail about the trading strategies that we use here at TWP, then join us on this webinar and we'll gladly discuss it in more detail with you then. Okay, hope you found it useful. Thank you for joining, and speak to you soon. Bye for now.